Hey gamers, welcome back to another DSP video. I am gonna react to the second part of the Quarterman react DSP is doing, but this is gonna be like an intermission style video or whatever. I was thinking of just doing both, but then I was like, the video would be too long. Don't need that, so I'm just gonna do this as a separate video. DSP's take on everyone's favorite video game, mixtape. Yes! Before we get into the actual video, he did upload a little clippy clip called Mixtape Biggest Industry Plant Ever? A lot of people have been saying this about other games. I don't quite know if mixtape would necessarily be considered an industry plant. Like, I think I kind of get it. I don't know. I feel like because from my understanding of what an industry plant is that like it's actually like let's say it's like a AAA game, but they like pretend it's indie, like that kind of thing. I think Dave the Diver got accused of that. Activision 33, I think, had a small window where people were saying that's like an industry plant, but it's kind of more like a AA game. But what I think, I don't know, whatever. Now it's gone to the point where like industry plant, I feel like I feel it's the same way with grift and slop, where it's like these are like appropriate words to use. It's like, okay, can we like at least explain what you mean? You know what I'm saying? Whatever. But as you can see, this kind of has, oh my god, the coming up is like cut off.
Because if you didn't know,
it slides up.
Annapurna Interactive.
But yeah, I never understand why clips of anybody now does coming up. I don't get that. You're watching a clip. Oh, he's talking about mixtape? I want to see what's going on. Coming up. It's like, why? And it's not just this editor or anything. I've seen so many clips do this. I don't get this trend. I don't understand.
The Oracle co-founder.
Oh my god. Okay, whatever. Let's just watch the actual video. I can't believe I gave that a click.
I want to talk about today.
I love the gaming news.
Because it is the
By the way, shouts out, I am drinking Liquid Death, Dead Billionaire. Shouts out. Yeah. Yeah. Is this an appropriate drink for this video? I don't know, who knows?
One is talking about in gaming over the last 2 to 3 days. The hot burning topic. And I didn't really understand how big it was getting until yesterday. Like I said, it was my day off. And
he didn't understand. Oh my god, he put out a tweet saying like, oh, there's a lot of people talking about it, and it's for engagement, and all this other bullshit, which, lo and behold, guess who's talking about mixtape? This guy. Yes, let's all talk about mixtape, but don't worry, guys. If you're worried that DSP is gonna have a base take, relax. Look no further. This guy has the dumbest take I've sat through. Don't worry. Don't you worry, guys. He got us.
Every once in a while, I'll open up, social media on my day
off. Like, I kind of get the angle of saying it's engagement bait, but at the same time, like, there is like interesting discourse to have on it, but I do feel like the well is tainted with people who are just like, oh my god, this game is just full of like woke propaganda. Oh my god, this game is so nostalgia bait. Like, okay, there's so many things that are like that. Like, so many things, whatever. Like, it's not innately bad, right, to complain about or criticize these things. But I do feel like it's kind of getting to the point where it's like, do we really need to act as if like mixtape is gonna take the world by storm? Like, it feels like to me that people are reacting to mixtape as if like it's gonna spawn multiple clones. And I don't think mixtape is gonna do that. I agree with the criticism of the game itself and what it and all that stuff about it, but people are acting as if like this game is gonna spawn clones. I don't think it's gonna do that. Call me crazy. I don't think this game is gonna inspire other companies to do that. You know, Life is Strange came out. Yeah, there's a lot of Life is Strange games, but did everyone make Life is Strange games? No. I just don't quite understand how people think mixtapes like. I mean, maybe I'm overreacting and overthinking it, but just some of the ways I've seen people talk about it on Twitter, it's like, yeah, some people just act as if this is gonna be the end of gaming. Oh my god, guys, mixtape is gonna like we need to stop this now more than ever. And it's like, okay, yeah, this game has no momentum outside of like the people pushing it. But whatever. That's like my
case,
opinion.
My wife was getting ready for the day, and I'm like, well, there's not much to do. I actually came in here. I cleaned the office. I actually took a dust buster, dust busted the whole office up, and I rearranged stuff. And I was like, well, I got a few minutes. Let's see what's going on. And I opened up X, and it's mixtape, 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 mixtape. I'm like, mixtape? What the hell is mixtape? And I started thinking in my head, I've heard this game before. I've heard of it. Oh, yeah. Mixtape, that was that game that is one of those random artsy-fartsy looking games.
Artsy-fartsy.
Probably a year ago, when we were watching either Summer Games Fest or the Game Awards or whatever, it was one of those games that was presented to us as a really weird, out there game. It's kind of
like... Oh my god, I don't think it was promoted that way. It's just, hey, your kid's like skateboarding. Like, he's acting as if like they had like Kojima come up with a marketing strategy for this game. Like, come on, man. It's not that deep.
This line of games that has been coming out recently in the last few years. Remember that one was like Welcome to Volcano High or something like that, where everyone was like a furry, and it's a coming of age story about, I guess, being a furry or something. I don't know. And then so this one,
yes, Volcano High is about coming of age as a furry. Like, dude, that story, at least from the trailers, I haven't played it. I don't think these are like people in fursuits. I think it's just like a school of like anthropomorphic animals or whatever the fuck doing school shit or and whatever. I think the furry shit is just it's like it's not auxiliary. Like, I don't know. It's like whatever. It's like the same way people talk about like Brand New Animal, the anime from Studio Trigger. That's like, oh, it's a furry thing, but it's like obviously it's not, because it's an anime about like, watch Brand New Animal. It is a good anime to be honest, but it's like just because a show or a movie has like animals or anthropomorphic whatever the fucks doesn't make it like a furry thing. Like, it's a little different, like, it's just a tad different.
This one is like, oh, it's supposed to be 3 teenagers, and it's set either in the 80s or 90s, and it's confusing because it seems like the music is from the 80s, but I guess the game is supposed to be set in the 90s. And the whole point of the game, they're 3 teenagers, They're coming of age story, they're coming into from youngsters to adulthood, and the whole game is based on licensed music. Okay.
The game is based on licensed music. I don't think. Oh my god, dude! Like, see, this is why like DSP is the worst person to have these kind of segments. Like, he's so out of the loop. Like, I don't know anything about mixtape other than like it's kids skateboarding and shit. Like, whatever. And this is like, it's about licensed music. And he's only saying that because it features licensed music. Now, this guy says a lot of dumb shit that's like insane. Because you have a story or whatever set in like the 80s, 90s, whatever, and he's mad that they're using licensed music. Without understanding, maybe they want licensed music so it can like sell you on the time period. Like, it's not like insane for that. You know, that's why like you watch Guardians of the Galaxy, they have a very specific like soundtrack they want for those movies. Same with the game. Like the game did offer streamer mode for people like DSP, but uh if you played without streamer mode on, it's very clear that they designed the game around 80s music because it's the vibe of the characters and this and like licensed music can be used to elevate certain things. Now you could argue there's a cynicism or whatever with mixtape using it, but conceptually I understand why they would use it. But DSP is of course gonna say it's structured around this. Like, yeah, they probably feature it so he can like sell you on like the vibe of the time period. Like it's so like ridiculous how he describes this stuff, and this is stuff he doesn't even need to describe. You can say, "Oh, mixtape is a game that came of Annapurna. It's like a coming of age story or whatever." But like a lot of people are like talking about how there's no fails there. You can't die. You don't need to do you don't need to even do the quick time events. The game plays itself. Uh, it just doesn't seem like there's anything uh that lends itself to a game. Like that's a very straightforward statement. And then of course they get into like the shilling that's going on, like how all these outlets are giving it rave reviews and this and that. It's like, yeah, like this is also kind of like a weird game that gets this huge push that seems to be like bolstered by a lot of money or whatever the fuck. Like, and there you go. You don't need to really know a lot about the game to understand like the like what's going on with it.
Okay, that's nostalgia bait. And apparently the game is really like edge. Oh, look, the kids can attack things and make them blow up by flipping them off. Ooh, edgy, right? Oh, look, they're skateboarding through town and they're not supposed to be doing that. Oh, they're rebels. Oh.
Oh my god. Okay, this guy makes me want to like look up this game. I'm gonna look up this game and I'm gonna put it on mute because I don't want this to be blacked. Mixtape game. We're not doing before you buy or bullshit like that. Oh my god. Dude, this is annoying. I just want gameplay. Give me gameplay. Enough with this bullshit. Full game. Okay.
Hello
okay.
and welcome
oh god.
to
No, shut up. I don't care about the story or anything. I just want gameplay. Play the game. Okay. I got a yo-yo. MTV. Shouts out MTV. Let's talk about real world. Starter picks. Okay. Where is the skateboarding? Show me the skate. Oh my god, where's the skateboarding? Show me skateboarding. Everyone's talking about the skateboarding. Where is it? Where is the skateboarding? Oh my god. Dude, where is the skateboarding? Oh, there it is. Okay. Bam! Okay, hey. Go eat a dick. Yeah, fuck that car. Dude, the rebellions. Cassandra. Oh my god, that fucking name, it's fucking it's like a boomer version of Karen, I feel. Like I feel like a lot of boomers would say, "Oh, stop being a Cassandra," when now people would say like stop being a Karen. Okay. Oh, got hit by the car, rewind. You got rewind gameplay. Where's the flip? Okay, where's the superpowers? I don't see any superpowers, any meters, any HUDs. Like this just seems like you're just shit's is happening, like seriously, you're watching this game, and I'm just asking myself, why would anyone even be like curious or interested in this? Unless the story is good, but like, why not make this a movie? Like that's what kind of seems like to be like the feel of this game. It's like Like it's the epitome of why not make a movie? Okay, let's try flipping off. Let's see what happens. Game journals light again. They're lying about mixtape. What's going on with mixtape? Let's flip off the. What the fuck? Whatever. I can't find it. I can't find this fucking flipping off bullshit.
Off. Ooh, edgy. Right?
Like, it's not even like they're flipping off just because that's what people do. Like, they're not doing it because it's edgy. They're just like, yeah, you know, kids are gonna flip, you know, whatever off. Like, people who doesn't use the middle finger? Like that's, I guess that's what triggered me a little bit. It was like, oh, he flipped them off. Ooh, it's like I don't think that's like,
right? Oh, look, they're skateboarding through town, and they're not supposed to be doing that. Oh, they're doing their rebels. Oh,
they're doing their rebels. This dude, man, he says this shit, and it just, you know what? Maybe it's in this. Let's see if, what the fuck? What? 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 Why is that here?
Tale games, right? So, the Dark Pictures anthology.
Okay. That's why. Where's the Ooh My Rebellions? Come on, show me the Ooh My Rebellions. No. Where's the Rebellions? They didn't show the clip. Oh my god, a lot of people talk about the fucking tongue minigame. Man, it's something. I'll tell you what. Where is the Rebellions? Why would you cut that out? What the fuck? Okay.
Coming of age story about, I guess, being a furry or something. I don't know. And then, so this one is like, oh, it's supposed to be 3 teenagers, and it's set either in the 80s or 90s, and it's confusing because it seems like the music is from the 80s, but I guess the game is supposed to be set in the 90s. And the whole point of the game, they're 3 teenagers, they're coming of age story, you know, they're coming into from youngsters to adulthood, and the whole game is based on licensed music, okay? That's nostalgia bait. And apparently the game is really like edge. Oh, look, the kids can attack things and make them blow up by flipping them off. Ooh, edgy.
Oh. Oh. Okay. Mixtape is truly a special game, like a playable high fidelity or maybe a John Hughes movie. Still thinking about it days later. Also, you can blow things up by flipping them off. Go play it. It's on Game Pass too. Okay. Okay. That's what he talked about. Wow. What a worthwhile segment.
Ooh, right?
Ooh.
So I just totally remember that when I was watching this during the Game Fest or whatever, I was like, oh, it's another one of these real artsy games. It's probably not going to be very good. You know, it looks really silly. Meh. And then you move on, right? Meh. I didn't know when the game was coming out. I didn't follow its development. I didn't really care at all.
Good
because
for you.
To me, when I see a game like that, it's kind of like the same reaction I have when I saw that Volcano High game. It's like, that's not for me. You know, I'm in my 40s. I like games that have like meat to them. And listen, don't get me wrong.
I'm in my 40s. It's not for me. Whatever. But like, I kind of get what he means though. But it's okay.
In gaming for these kind of games,
you could just say it's not for me. I'm not interested in Volcano High. Like just you could just say that.
It really is. And there's a place in gaming for games that aren't super heavy on gameplay. Because I think that's what a lot of people are critical of these days, is if a game doesn't have enough gameplay, then that game isn't a valid game. It should be a movie instead. But I would contest that to take a look at a game that I'll be playing this week, Directive 8020. And just in general, the games that Supermassive Games has made. You can also go back in time and look at the history of like Telltale games, right? So the Dark Pictures anthology? Or what about
like it's kind of missing the point. Like it's not that these games can't exist. It's that I don't think anybody cares about these kind of games anymore. Like I don't really have any interest in these like movie-like games. If I want a movie-like game, I'd much rather have a game like Uncharted or whatever, where it's like at least there's like gameplay and you can get a game over, whatever. I don't care for this like walking around and like scripted things happen, whatever. Like I'm just kind of over that. And the stories have just been kind of, it's like whatever.
Telltale's games like The Last of Us or the Batman games that they made and stuff like that, where
wait, what?
Games,
wait a minute.
So, the Dark Pictures anthology. Or what about Telltale's games like The Last of Us or
oh my god, dude! The Walking Dead got it is okay, guys. Am I using this correctly? The Walking Dead just got mogged by The Last of Us. I don't know, maybe it's a stupid statement. Tell my fellow kids, but fucking it says something that The Walking Dead got like outshined by The Last of Us in terms of Telltale games. Like it's not even like I know what he means. I know exactly what he means. He meant The Walking Dead, but it's just he said The Last of Us. It's like kind of funny. It's a funny slip up.
Or the Batman games that they made and stuff like that, where it is an ongoing narrative, but you make choices. And the choices you make, the dialogue that you say, can actually change the outcome of the game and make it that a character lives or dies, or either will move on to another part, or hell, could die right away, right at the beginning.
I hate that
Maybe
shirt
two
he's
characters
wearing.
can team up to help each other, or they could be really angry at each other's throats, depending on what you choose.
Shirt. I fucking
think
hate
that's
it.
valid for a game in the modern era. Also, I hear people always criticize walking simulators, right? Oh, it's a game where all
oh my god, I'm sorry. DSP, you've complained about walking simulators too. Oh my god, dude. Like, oh my god, dude. Just go back to the fucking rant he did about about fucking Lost Records, Bloomin' Rage, whatever the fuck. Like, this dude was like, I did a video on it because it's such a specific thing. This dude was like, oh my god, if I want to play a game that's doing real life things, I'll just do it in real life. Hanging out with friends or whatever the fuck. He made these same arguments. But it's this bullshit, like, this is the bullshit nuance we always have. Well, I'm talking about moderation. It's not all about whatever the fuck. But it's like, you at least have to understand that you have complained about these similar things, because when people make a walking sim, they are making a game that they want to make or whatever the fuck. Like Mixtape, I think they wanted to be the way that it is. I just think it's getting over marketed and over pushed. Whatever. But it's not gonna work when you have a game that's being pushed as hard as Mixtape. It's not gonna last. People are gonna move on.
All you do is walk around and you click on stuff, you read documents. Those can be engaging. I have played some pretty good walking simulators over the years that actually were entertaining experiences. And one of the things that I've always said as a creator for 18 years now is the length of the game is not directly representative of the actual enjoyment factor you can get out of it. I would much rather have a 5 to 10 hour amazing, memorable experience than a game that's 40 hours long but insanely repetitive, boring, grindy, and just not very memorable at all. Okay? Seriously, and I mean, I've been talking about games like this recently. Crimson Desert, a game that really just feels like a buffet of slop, but it has so much content, but none of it's really memorable or meaningful, so who cares? I'd much rather play the shorter game.
He didn't get that far.
I just want you to
Crimson
understand where I'm
Desert.
coming from in my perspective.
But again, like, of course, when you do every piece of content, you're gonna run into that. Like, I don't think a lot of devs expect you to do every single piece of content, especially in one run. He always does that, and it's like, I'm bored. It's like, well, then don't do the fucking boring shit then. I don't know, like, play it correctly. I don't know.
Look at this Mixtape game, and basically what's gone on and what's happening right now with it. Okay?
All right, let's
take a look.
Let's take a look.
So, basically, in the last several days on social media, this game has blown up for various different reasons. Okay?
Okay.
Let's just take a glance at some of the initial things that come up when you just search for the game. Okay?
Okay.
Explaining why I personally hate Mixtape in just under 3 minutes of totally uninterrupted gameplay. Okay? Mixtape is absolutely terrible. It is.
I love that the post, like, I'm explaining in 3 minutes, and he didn't even go. He's like, so see, that guy hates it. Okay, it's like, yeah, but why? Mixtape's absolutely terrible. It isn't even a video game. It literally plays itself.
It isn't even a video game. It literally plays itself. Do not buy. Here is the IGN review for Mixtape. 10.
Oh, but this is what he focuses on.
A musical delight from start to finish, Mixtape sets a new standard for coming-of-age stories in video games and does so with a masterful sense of style. Our 10 out of 10 review.
I kind of do like the style,
who, as you can see,
to be honest.
This is not a regular Twitter user.
But
this is someone who's basically a gray check mark, which means, oh, I'm an industry insider or I own a company. So this is supposed to be a big
yellow
dog talking.
I don't know what that is, because gray is like supposed to be like government shit, and yellow is supposed to be like company shit. That I don't know what it is, because I don't think that dude is a government official. I don't know. I don't know what that's showing. I don't know. I think whoever screen capped it might have had an extension on. Maybe. I don't know. But I don't know
Actually,
what the
funny,
point.
His name is Moi Dog. If you're mad at this score, you're outing yourself as never having hobbies, never having a friend group, never having a relationship, and never being able to just stare at the ceiling with a buddy talking about life.
What?
That seems a little defensive, doesn't it?
What? No, he said, if you are mad at this score. Oh, okay. No, okay. I almost, I thought he was shitting on the game. No, he is defending it, but like, okay, let's see. You never having buddies, never having a friend group. You know, whatever. It's a whatever statement. It kind of part of me wants to assume it's a shit post. Part of me is like thinking it's a shit post. Like that's where Twitter is. You get fucking posts like that sometimes where it's like, yeah, I don't know if this guy's even being genuine in what he's saying.
Oh wait, someone's critical of a 10 out of 10 score from IGN. You never had a relationship before. You're a loser who sits at home alone. Huh?
Huh?
Like, whoa. Can we take a few steps back? That sounds pretty harsh.
Okay? But you know what's funny? You know what's even funny, though? This is the funniest aspect of this all. DSP has said basically the same kind of defense before. Guys, if you don't like my stream, it's because you're a loser, and you don't have anyone that loves you. All this shit. He says, actually, he might have said that almost verbatim when he's talking about his trolls. Like, this dude is saying that this is a little being over defensive, but he has said the same shit. So, yeah, projection yet again. Yes.
Okay, so if you're wondering what some of the criticisms are of this game, okay, we could take a look at one literally right here. Now, remember, this game is supposed to be nostalgia. This game is supposed to be 80s and 90s nostalgia, at a time when everyone was into cassette tapes and certain kinds of clothing and music. So there's a scene in the game.
Oh, we zoom in on this one.
Rewind a tape. Okay? Take a look at the tape that's in the game. The tape has
I'm gonna be honest. This kind of criticism is so lame. Like, I don't care if the game sucks or whatever, but this is like loser shit. Like, move on. Like, there's a lot you can criticize this game. You're gonna really criticize. Actually, this is not how you rewind a tape. What if what if these are just dumb fuck kids who think this is how they don't want to put the tape in the cassette player and think that this is adequate way to rewind it? Because is this a Like, what happens after you rewind it in the game? Does it actually work, or does it get fucked up? Like, come on. Who cares? Like honestly, who cares about this? Like, there's more you can complain about this fucking game, and you're gonna complain about the cassette tape. Whatever.
Has no opening where the tape is read. They're trying to rewind the tape using a pencil, but anyone who actually had a cassette tape would know you can't rewind a tape using a pencil. What would happen is the actual tape would come out of the top of the tape. The only way you would ever do this is if it got stuck in a tape recorder and you needed to manually get the tape back into the cassette. That's why you would do it. The cassette is rendered upside down, where this should actually be on the bottom. And that's just a few things that's wrong with the scene. And this is a key scene.
But how do you know the thing is not being held upside down? Like, okay, whatever.
Scene of the game where they're trying to say, ooh, nostalgia. The people who made the game.
I mean, again, like, it's just this is kind of comes off as we're trying to hate the game. Also, cassette tapes have A and B sides. You don't need to rewind unless you're specifically listening to one side. I mean, like, look at how ridiculous these complaints are. Like, in the scene, what are they doing? Like, it's omitting the context a little bit. Were they trying to rewind it for the side B? Is that what happens? Like, oh, we gotta rewind the tape. We're gonna put it into side B. Or is it just like, oh, I'm just gonna rewind it because you want to, or whatever the fuck? Or maybe they're just doing this because they're fucking stupid. Like, some of these is kind of like petty. To be fair, like, who cares? Like, again, there's other things I'd much rather like spend time criticizing this game, and DZ of course spends time on this because he was born in the '80s, guys. He knows what's up.
Game don't even understand how cassette tapes work. That's pretty bad. Okay, that is pretty bad. I'll admit. Okay, now continuing on, it seems like there has been a humongous PR campaign for this game. For example, this company, Annapurna Interactive, if you're not familiar with Annapurna Interactive, okay?
Okay, we know Annapurna. That's
love, like Stray, the game about the cat in this post-apocalyptic robot-populated world. I think is one of the best.
I'm gonna say it. The only good Annapurna game I've ever played is Sayonara Wild Hearts. It's a good sound. It has a good soundtrack. What more can be said? Everything else I don't care about. Oh, the Pathless is good. Okay, the Pathless. That was a good game. The Pathless and Neon was pretty good. Didn't stick with it though. And Sayonara Wild Hearts. Those are the 3 good games that I played from them. So there you have it.
Most creative games I've played in many years. I hope they make a sequel. Okay?
I hope they don't.
Some of these other ones. What Remains of Edith Finch? Amazing narrative game. Sure, the gameplay elements weren't very good, but the story itself was unique and so gripping and interesting. Okay? Outer Wilds. 12 minutes. You can keep going, because some of these that I've played and I really have enjoyed. I just recently tried Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, and I didn't get to play it much, but I thought it was really good. It hooked me.
That was kind of cool.
So some of these games are notable games. However, there is kind of a common theme. They're all very artsy, right? They really are.
Whoa.
They're very artsy games where this is...
Wait, I don't think people are surprised Annapurna put out an artsy game. I don't think that's the problem here, buddy.
Isn't the kind of mainstream game that would blow up or anything. So Annapurna actually put together this crazy package of stuff that they gave influencers. Okay, and I want to say that, who the fuck is Blue Thunder at Summer Games Fest? Does anyone know who this is?
I like it says Blue Thunder at Summer Game Fest. I mean, the at Summer Game Fest thing is like, people do this when they're saying they're gonna be somewhere. Like, I've seen people do, oh, so and so at Combo Breaker, so and so at this place, because those events are coming up. That's all.
Well, he got this game early, and they sent him an insane press package.
Like
what?
Okay,
this press package that they sent the guy included, like, an actual replica of the mixtape CD that they have in the game. It had like headphones. It had all kinds of little like tchotchkes and collectibles and things.
Tchotchkes?
Like basically, it's humongous paid advertisement.
God, I
for
hate
the
hearing
game.
him say
And
tchotchkes.
he actually put out this post on X about it on May 8th without disclosing the fact that it was blatant advertisement for the product, and therefore he violated X's rules. And I'm shocked that this guy's Twitter isn't shut down, because that's actually illegal. You actually can't do a promotion without disclosing it's a promotion. That's a huge lawsuit. In fact, Xbox themselves.
What would probably happen to Blue Thunder is that he probably wouldn't get paid for whatever engagement this tweet gets or whatever. I mean, that's pretty much it. Like, he's talking as if like Blue Thunder's gonna go to jail. He's gonna be thrown in prison, dude. He's going to jail.
Themselves got sued for this about a decade ago. You can't do that, and this guy did it. Okay,
but that's different though. That's a company, whatever, and they didn't go to jail.
This game makes you feel like a child. Xbox share mixtape. So Nico seems to really like the game. Okay.
Whoa.
I'm gonna skip this because this is a stupid post.
No. Let's look at the post.
It makes you feel like a child.
Let's take a look at this
share
epic
mixtape.
post.
So Nico seems to really like the game. Okay.
What downgrade? They're in different genres from different developers. What are you even talking about? Guys, you may not have noticed this, but Mixtape is actually Stellar Blade 2. I think that it's a very unknown fact. It's a sequel. You just don't know it yet. Wait until they announce the third Stellar Blade game, and you're gonna see those three kids. They're gonna be like helping Eve out, doing shit or whatever.
Okay. I'm gonna skip this because this is a stupid post. Here is all the reviews for Mixtape. IGN 10, VGC 10, CGM 10, Day 1 10, Wellplayed 10, Xbox Tavern 10, The 6-Axis 10, Gaming Trend 10, DualShockers 10, PSLS 9, Redcon 9, GameSpot 9, Push Square 9.
I always love when DSP does this. He's like, guys, look, the game media is purchased. Look at this. And then the next day you're like, okay, yeah, I didn't play this game because the reviews weren't so good. As I said, you could just simply follow reviewers, because these sites also there's a lot of reviewers working at IGN, and you might find one dude or whatever in IGN that may actually give a good review, but there might be a lot that don't, whatever. But you're gonna find people who you trust, with reviews, obviously take it with a grain of salt. Usually I just look at them just to see the general gist of the game, see what they didn't like, whatever, then look at what other people say, whatever, or I just go with my gut. I go with how I feel.
9, Monster Vine 9, Nintendo Life 9, Game Reactor 9, Game Informer 9.
Whoa.
Okay?
Whoa.
But then when you actually scroll down, you read people who've played it, not the games journalists, okay? But people who actually played the game. Entire portions of Mixtape is a joke. 10 out of 10 for IGN and entities that don't want to play games. AstroTurfed Soy.
What? Okay.
How much of this game can you finish without actually touching the controls?
Okay. I'm asking this out of sheer curiosity and not malicious. You didn't read the first part. Malicious intent. For those who have played, cause this sequence just fascinates me. How much of this game can you finish without touching the controls? Oh, okay.
Okay. Yes, take a look at this. I'm not gonna press play on this because it's so absurd. There's actually a part of Mixtape.
I'm just gonna say, you play South Park and you're watching people having sex. I mean, it's not literal. Everyone knows that scene. DSP laughed like a clown when that was going on. I mean, this is kind of stupid, to be honest, and weird, and that's it.
Where two underage kids make out,
but DSP makes it weirder.
It into a game, it's a mini game where they're actually have tongue wrestling. Okay, underage kids tongue wrestling. And now, obviously, there's tons of media, movies, TV shows where kids are kissing, but I don't think there's ever been a game that's tackled actual tongues. Going crazy. It's a little, I would say it's a little out there. It's a little bizarre. Some people will say that's artsy, and some people would say that's pedophilic. I don't know. I mean, it's weird.
See, this is what's weird. Like, it's pedophilic only if it's like you're either getting off to it or like the people involved are like have a huge age gap. Obviously, like that's how it would become that. But whatever, it's weird. I'll agree with you with that. But it's like it's a video game.
Weird. Admittedly, I think this is fucking weird to be in the game.
Okay? It is weird. That is a
first thing I did in
take,
mixtape
dude.
was unintentionally crash into a car to see if anything happened. It did not. So the thing is, I can't press play on any of this stuff. And you might say, Phil, why aren't you pressing play on any of these video clips to show us what you mean?
As if he played
mixtape
clips anyway.
Has a licensed soundtrack.
Whoa.
And when I say that, I mean the entire game is a licensed soundtrack. There is no actual music in mixtape that wasn't paid for. The game seems to have an insanely huge budget because it's got tons of 80s and 90s music in it. And every moment you're playing the game...
How much money do you think it costs to get 80s and 90s music and media? Like, outside of, like, the obvious big hitters from that era, you think all of them are fucking that expensive to get? I don't know. Like...
It's playing one of these songs. So if I play any gameplay at all, this video and stream will get claimed on YouTube for content ID. Okay? You might say, oh, well, that's kind of silly. Didn't they put in a streamer mode into the game to prevent this issue so people could stream and share their gameplay experiences? No, they didn't. And the game developers actually posted up publicly and said, we decided that artistically, this game needs to have the licensed soundtrack, and if you're playing it without it, you're not really getting the full gameplay experience. Therefore, we've decided to not have a streamer mode in our game.
Look how butthurt he is about this. I do think that it's fine if a game, like, this dude it always goes on and on. I want to play the game how the developers intended. The developers say directly, we intended for you to listen to the 80s music, and look how butthurt he's getting. I thought you cared about the artistic vision, because there is a vision to including these tracks. Like, I don't care about the game being shitty when it comes to this, because it's not far-fetched for any piece of media to be like, yeah, the music that we got that's licensed is important for this. Like, that's why in Guardians of the Galaxy, it's like, I mean, even in the game, there's been discourse in the sense of like, yeah, there's a streamer mode, but this game is very clearly meant to be played without that. But of course, when there's no streamer mode here, DSP's butthurt.
To retain the artistic integrity of the game. The artistic integrity of the game? You mean you threw money at music other people made 30 plus years ago to be in your game?
Yeah, about the time period. Like, I just love this dude was just bitching a second ago. Oh, this is not how you rewind a cassette tape. But now it's like, what? They want to have authentic music from the 80s? Are they fucking stupid? So, on one hand, he wants them to be authentic. But on the other, no, Moran. Oh, okay.
And you think that's art. You didn't have...
Again, DSP doesn't understand what art is. He genuinely doesn't. Because again, it's very obvious why they wanted actual licensed 80s, 90s music in mixtape. It's very obvious why they wanted that. It's not, I don't think it's a secret. I don't have to explain it to you. You know immediately why that is. I mean, you look at the game, it makes sense.
Have someone make music that sounds like music from that era, so it would be original to your vision of what it should be. You just paid for other people's work to be in yours, and you think that's art.
This is stupid. And again, it's insincere and disingenuous. he's just spinning this negatively because he hates the game. Like, and it's not much of a defense because bad shit can do this too. I mean, it's not like whatever, but it's just the concept is not like crazy. He's acting as if just the concept of them reaching out to like actual companies to have licensed music in this game is lazy and crazy. But it's not. It makes sense for them to go out of their way to use 80s and 90s music in a game that's set during that time period to be more authentic and to reach into your nostalgia and all this other stuff. That is an artistic intent. Like, right there.
If you say so, that sure doesn't sound like artistic to me. It just sounds like you're made of money and you throw it at people to make something. Anyway.
But that's but this is the thing though. Like, there is an intent to using that music and whatever. But then you have DSP, who just goes to his fucking Roland Bridgecast AI box, whatever the fuck, and just plays random songs. Just for the sake of it. Like, this dude is like, oh, so throwing music. As this dude just says, I want a playlist that's happy. And then he just plays random ass songs that make no sense to his own content. This guy is saying, oh, they're just throwing music into this game. Meanwhile, this guy throws random music into his content.
Continuing on, the overwhelmingly positive reviews of Mixtape on Steam are actually a perfect example of selection bias, because you see, anyone who has a good taste in games ran as far as possible in the opposite direction of this game the moment that they learned literally anything about it at all. Since they did not buy the game, they cannot leave a review on Steam. This leaves only the gamers with the most abysmally terrible taste that you can imagine, and industry shills who got review copies, who are the only ones delusional or dishonest enough to give this game a good rating. There's my post about it from yesterday, but that's kind of irrelevant because I'm talking about it right now.
Wow. Wow! Even he said his own take is irrelevant. Oh my god, dude. Like, again, I just love, you literally see a contradiction and you just see in real time DSP does not care. He doesn't care. Because that's what he said the other day. That's already irrelevant. We don't need to think about that. That's how DSP operates. Whatever he says that day, that's what he said for that day. The next day, that's irrelevant. That's ancient history.
And so we could keep going, all right? But ultimately what it comes down to is this. Because you probably didn't really hear the story of what's really going on with this game. Read this post. This is the one I was trying to get to. Did you know?
I love that we are still we're in 2026. Twitter has been around for decades, and DSP to this day does not understand how bookmarks work. Bookmarks, you know, that little bookmark icon on the bottom? He doesn't know. He could just click the bookmark thing, then go to his bookmark tab, whatever, on Twitter, and read the bookmarks. So instead of doing that like a normal person, he has to go through the trending tab and hope the post he saw is still there. It is so funny how this dude doesn't know how to use bookmarks. I think someone tried to tell him how to use it, and he just did not understand it and refused to listen.
You know that screenings of the movie game Mixtape are set for a theatrical release, you know, as modern indie games by billionaire Nepo babies do. Because if you didn't know, Annapurna Interactive is a company owned by her, Megan Ellison, who is the daughter of Larry Ellison, the Oracle co-founder. He's a billionaire. So, is it an indie game company? No, not at all. It's a game company that has endless amounts of money financing it so that they can pump out artistic games like this. Now, sometimes these games are huge hits and make tons of money. sometimes they're not. But when you basically are insanely, eternally rich, it doesn't really matter if the games that you actually produce make money or not, because it's probably not.
But the thing is, like, I mean, I get the nepo baby shit, like, you know, whatever. But I also think, like, it also matters on how the company is run and what they produce or whatever. You know, like, yeah, I mean, should we really consider Annapurna indie? Should we? Who knows? Who cares? Probably not, but let's
Probably not the reason you're doing it, right? So, yeah, it's pretty crazy to think that this game, okay, is going to have a Hollywood premiere because it's not really a game. In fact, the reason that most people are up in arms about the game isn't that it's artsy and isn't
hold on.
going to have a Hollywood premiere.
I want to see how true
is
that.
Not really a game. In fact, the reason that most people are up in arms about
mixtape set for a limited theatrical release for a okay. But it's like a recording of the game. I mean, whatever.
the game isn't that it's artsy and isn't even that the game itself got all these perfect scores from games journos. The problem is the game isn't a video game. Did you know that this game has no real gameplay? All it really is the game plays itself. In fact, people have tested this theory. They just hit play and just took their hands off the controller. The game has no fail states. The game doesn't allow you to have to replay things if you fail it. It just continues anyway. There's a few times where you have to do a quick time event or the game won't advance. So technically, yes, it is a game in that respect. You do have to actually touch the controller a few times, but mostly it's just a story. So you might say to yourself, well, then why did they make it into a video game? Well, the answer is very clear. Because if they made this as a TV show or a movie, no one would care. But when you make it a
that's really stupid. I just think they thought that the vision of the game worked because they could have made this into a show. I don't this idea of nobody would care is kind of like insane, especially when like there's so many shows because of Stranger Things. It has been trying to evoke that same kind of vibe. I think this could have very easily worked as a show. The idea of nobody would care is like you're only saying that because it didn't work as a game. Like you don't know the audience that watches TV, movies, whatever. That's a whole other like audience. And both the audience of that and the audience of gaming view each other differently. It's like so unique in a way. Like there is something unique about games as an art form that I would argue there's no tangible description as to what makes a game. Like it's not just fun, it's not just gameplay or whatever. There's something like uniquely like unique about it that you can't really put your finger on. Like a movie and a show, you can always point to something that you can connect with and that's artistic. A game is a little different, and that is also why there's like games that aren't even art that are video games, and games that are art that are games, whatever. Like I just think that they just wanted Mixtape to be kind of this other like just a walking sim. They probably thought that they could get away with it. It's like, well, we don't need fail states because there's like everybody gone to the rapture and people can just walk around, and they probably didn't think it was gonna be that big of a deal because this is just another aspect of a game that was probably like intended for one audience that the unintended audience is reacting to this. Because I would kind of wonder, are there actual people who like this game?
A video game financed by a billionaire heiress, right? A Nepo baby. And this is a company that pumps out artistic games. Now you can get games journalists to say it's a 10 out of 10. Now you can actually get attention on it. Now when Game Awards season comes around, it can be nominated for Games for Change and shit like that.
Okay.
Because you made a video game instead of a movie or a TV show. Because the truth is, movies and TV shows are oversaturated. That market has been around for so long that this kind of story, this kind of narrative is a dime a dozen. There's a ton of these that come out a year, and they all get forgotten because they're all so samey. Everyone's already done this in that medium.
Right.
But in video games, they haven't yet. So now...
This is kind of silly because I think this has been done a lot in video games. This is kind of silly. Like, you have Life is Strange. You have, I don't know. I feel like there are more than there are, maybe. I can't think of it because I guess to me what it is, I don't really pay attention to these kind of games, so it's not like in my mind. Like a Bloom and Rage is another one. Volcano High, whatever. Like these games exist. I just don't think anyone really cares because they move on. This I just think is, it's just the marketing that's making people talk about it. Honestly, the fact that it's getting like sweeping scores, get people to keep recommending it, whatever. I just kind of wonder, and I think that's what people are talking about. I think if this didn't get such a weird push, I don't think people would really talk. They would talk as much about this as they did with Volcano High.
You're going to see more and more artistic games like this come out over the next decade as people realize there's a market for it, because games journalists will kiss its butt and say it's game of the year.
It's so annoying from him saying that, acting as if this is the only artistic game in video games. Like, there's no other artsy games. But again, he writes off a lot of actual artistic games. Like, any Suda51 games he writes off. Like, I can understand, like, his reaction to, like, Lollipop Chainsaw, Shadows of the Damned, and Killer is Dead. I get those. Killer Dead, whatever, but I get that. Because these were, like, the darkest times of Suda51's career. But you play, like, No More Heroes 1, 3, Travis Strikes Again, The Silver Case, Romeo's a Dead Man. Like, you really do see that there's more going on in these games than just, it's a game where you hack and slash. And it actually, like, delves more into, like, the story and the characters and how things are represented. Like, that's like the artistic aspect of it. But people like DSP who are a bunch of normies who don't, like, really care about the medium that they're in would never know that. They see this and it's like yellow paint of artistic games, and they'll just point saying, this is artistic. And it's like, sure, there is like an artistic intent and direction behind it, but art is very wide in that. It's like the same thing I get annoyed with when people just point at like contemporary art that's like meant to be more like conceptual than a finished piece, like a blank canvas. Like, I understand why people don't think that's not art and all that, but the whole point of it is to get you to talk about that. Like, that is a level of art that is like a little different. But there's also art that's like straight up, hey, here's a painting, here's this. Like, it's all very like wide in that space.
People who don't play games will say, ooh, here's a game for me, and they'll jump on and buy and play it, and the game will actually be successful, okay? So that's really right now what's going on with Mixtape. Is the game is atrocious. It's not a very good game at all. It's just a narrative-based game with almost nothing to it, but games journalists are giving
by
it
the
a
way,
10 out of 10.
I finished Pragmata. I finished the game. I like the gameplay is the best part. The story is interesting. But I kind of didn't really care for Huey and Diana. They're cool characters, but I just felt he didn't do anything with them that was actually like interesting. Like, it just felt like the game kept telling me the idea that, hey, they could be interesting. We're just not letting them be interesting. Like, I don't know. I gotta want to do a video talking about my experience with Pragmata. Good game though. I would recommend it. It is fun. It is a good game. Don't get me wrong. It's a good game.
Out of 10 rating, while actual gamers are saying it's like a 0 out of 10. Okay? Now, there's one other thing that I would like to bring up before I adjourn talking about this particular topic. Okay? Well,
okay.
Phil, why didn't you bring it up before now? Right? Like, this came out, what was it? I believe it was like the 7th, so 3 days ago. Sure, I could have played it. Sure, I could have talked about it. Sure, I could have been up in a big uproar on the internet about it, like everyone else apparently seems to be. I was told just this morning that big content creators are covering this game now, like Asmongold and stuff like that, right?
Asmongold!
So why didn't I talk about it until today, and why did I choose today?
Because it's a podcast today, stupid.
Well, folks, it's because there's a very simple reason why I didn't talk about Mixtape.
All right, here we go.
Because it fucking sucks.
Oh, wow.
I saw the preview of it about a year ago, whenever it was that it was first premiered at Summer Game Fest or whatever. And the moment that we saw that game and we saw, oh,
I kind of want to look it up. I kind of want to look his reaction up. Where would it be? Where would it be? I wish I looked it up. I was going to too, but I didn't think about it. Oh. Damn it. DSP reacts. Whoa, calm down, Kirby. Summer Game Fest. Ah, yes. Let's see, 2025. Yeah, so let's no. Oh god, remember he used to play his own music? Remember that? Code Vein. Oh, that's the Game of Thrones game. Death Stranding. It may be hard to find because it's like a what's it called? Like an indie game, an Annapurna game. So it probably like they probably went by it pretty quickly. Anime game. Oh my god. Wait. No, this can't be it. This looks like something else. Yeah, this ain't it. Liza PP. That's something else. Show me what's it called? Mixtape. Where is Mixtape? Where is Mixtape? There it is. There it is. They already got the double eye rub.
To capture the highs and lows of adolescence, the bonds of friendship and the nostalgia of growing up.
I'm falling asleep. It's so boring.
Mixtape comes from Beethoven and Dinosaur, an Annapurna Interactive.
So
and this
boring.
is your exclusive new look at this game that plays like a love letter to teenage memories.
What are we doing?
Great, we're Annapurna.
Great, we're in Annapurna.
Buzzed. I've got to get out of this place.
Oh, okay. That was more epic than the clip I saw.
At the end of an era, when everything's about to change, it's time to look back on your greatest hits.
We're a dickhead. Look what he did. Fuck
Look
you.
what he
Fucking
did.
Put those up, asshole.
Look what he did.
Mom, who is it?
One moment.
It's the police, bitch.
Darling.
Told ya.
Because it's the 80s.
Experience a retrospective like no other. Beethoven and Dinosaur invites you to relive the teenage riot, to spend one last night together before school's out forever. And with a soundtrack this good, it's gonna be one
Devoted.
of a night.
Iggy, Lush,
And
The Cure.
I love The Cure.
Where's Bond?
You'll never be able to listen to because you'll get in trouble.
You will get in trouble. I may get in
Experience it
trouble
for
because
yourself.
I'm watching this.
There's a bunch of assholes. They're
Nothing
TPing houses and making
but the
messes in
hits.
stores and they get arrested. Oh, what a great game. Those shithead teenagers you should not try to idolize or make people think you should be like.
You have seen it.
That was his takeaway. That was his takeaway. How dare teenagers do teenage things? What a bunch of idiots. They should have gone to the library like I did.
Oh, look, the kids are floating and flying through the air, and they're riding bikes and they're flipping things off and they're exploding, and the whole soundtrack is licensed and all that. The moment you saw it, you say, that is 100% liberal, left-pushing, nostalgia bait.
Like, I'm sorry. You're telling me only liberals got in trouble with the law, and when they were teenagers, they were the only ones TPing? Yeah, fucking right. You're telling me that's liberal propaganda? Yeah, I guess it is. I guess it is. I guess Republicans were too busy doing Bible study or some shit. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, man. Liberal agenda like Devo and Smashing Pumpkins. Listen to that. Yeah. Fuck, were you a liberal?
Licensed and all that. The moment you saw it, you say, that is 100% liberal, left-pushing.
Yeah, when you think about your teenage years and you think about, like, how it is to be in that era, that's liberal propaganda, guys. Clearly, you don't have any fond memories of your youth. That clearly liberal propaganda. Clearly.
Nostalgia bait, slop. You know that game is nothing of substance. Okay? The moment that you look at it, you're like, that's not for me.
Like, he could have said everything except the liberal propaganda, because I don't quite get what's the propaganda there? Like, it just seems everything in that game is like generic to who everyone can relate to. Like, come on. It's like come on, dog.
Someone who looks for something different in a game. Now, I want you to understand something. There are people who probably like that kind of game, and that's okay. Like I said, I feel like in the gaming landscape, there's space for every kind of game. Okay, there is. Today, there's not now. Gaming has become so big and so mainstream that there's tons of games that can be produced for different kinds of audiences. There is an audience for mixtape, okay? It's
but
about 2,000 people. Because that's about a number of people who reviewed it on Steam, and that's about the number of concurrent players that the game is getting on Steam right now. It's about 2,000 people. So 2,000 people are welcome to enjoy mixtape. There's nothing wrong with that. But I know it's not for me. Therefore, I didn't care that it was coming out. I didn't follow it. I didn't stalk it. I didn't study it. I wasn't anticipating it coming out so I could play it and say it sucks. However, in today's modern landscape, we have a problem. We have two groups of people who want to butt heads together, much like currently in...
Guys, we got a problem. This is this thing. Like, he really could have ended it like a second ago, and he keeps going.
Politics in the United States, we have this problem. We have the leftist liberals, and we have the conservative Republicans on the right, and they are constantly slamming
I love this second is Japanese. He's like, oh my god, I gotta change this. This is fucked up. But again, right there, you see what I mean. He bitched about, mixtape picked music out for their games. What a bunch of idiots. As this guy had a random playlist that played fucking like fake J-pop. Yeah, dude, this guy should complain you're a music selection in media.
Excuse me. In American politics, we currently have a political situation where we have two parties that are at each other's throats. We have the very leftist liberals, and we have the very conservative right-wing Republicans, and they are constantly slamming their heads together like this. And they never want to work together. It's like, you're my enemy,
Why do you think they don't want to work together? Like, I at some point, you have to, like, look into what do they believe in, and what do you believe in? Do you believe in mass deportations? Do you believe that there should be a easier pathway for immigrants to become legal? Do you believe that people should have health care? Do you believe that we should be giving tax breaks to the rich? Do you think we should be funding a ballroom? Do you think we should be going to war with Iran? Do you think we shouldn't go to war with Iran? Do you think we should do this? Do you think we should do that? Like, why do these politicians have such different opinions? And why do people vote for them? Like I mean, this is like really stupid because of course they're gonna keep butting heads and all this other shit because they have different solutions to problems that they want to address. Like that's just what happens. That's why we have a democracy and why they have to put things to a vote and all this other stuff. Like, I mean, they should have taught him this in school. I don't know what the nuns were teaching him. I honestly don't know. What the fuck were the nuns doing to this guy?
Black and white, good and bad. They don't want to work together to make things better for Americans. Instead, they just want to argue with each other and constantly say that each other are villains. Okay? Sadly, what's happened, politics have become pop culture now. Our president, Donald Trump, was a reality TV star.
Yeah, but you realize he's also not the first, like, actor, entertainer guy to be in the White House, right? You realize Ronald Reagan was an actor too, and then he became the president, and then, you know, whatever. Come
on. And so what happens is the lines have been blurred with everything in the entertainment medium. How many times have I said in the last several years, I just want to play a video game? I don't want politics in my video game. Which is why when you're playing Dragon Age Veilguard and there's a scene about pulling a ball.
We gotta move on from Dragon Age. We gotta move on from this, especially that, like, he's so fixated on pulling a barf. It's, like, insane. I can't get over it because pulling a barf is an in-universe thing in Dragon Age. And in that game, whatever. I've not played Dragon Age that much, but it's just a portion where the character is telling her party members, their cultural way of apologizing or whatever. Like, that has nothing to do with politics. Who the fuck in the real world is like, yeah, guys, I'm a liberal and I believe in pulling a barf. Like, that doesn't happen because it's not real. And this dude keeps talking about pulling a barf. It's like insane. Come on.
Barf because you misgendered someone. You're like, what the hell is...
Again, pulling a barf wasn't about misgendering. It was just a way for this person to apologize. Like, she in the game, presumably, you could assume that she would be pulling a barf for whatever fucking reason. If she, like, slights someone unintentionally and the person's offended or that, like, oh, whatever, and she wants to apologize, she's gonna pull a barf for that person. It had nothing to do with the gender thing. That's why she apologized and why she did that. That is very different from, like, saying, oh, that she did this specifically for that. But whatever. I mean, DSP it just looked at this scene, saw it was getting memed on, and wanted to join in on it. But at this point, it's so many years old. Move on. Get over it.
What is going on in my video game? I don't want that in my video game. I just want to play a game. I want to unplug from reality and the drama.
But sometimes you want a story that can relate to what is going on. Sometimes to convey, like, a message or a theme, you do have to, like, use real world politics to convey that. Like, that just happens. It's in a lot of games. Like, that's why, like, MGS2 is so prophetic, because it talks about real world politics, and the conclusion it takes with all this information being disseminated. All this stuff has been ongoing talking points in the real world. Like, it's not like a happy accident that Kojima tapped into something that was timeless. It was just something that people were always debating and talking about.
And the culture wars and the politics. I just want to enjoy a game at face value. Why aren't I allowed to do that? Okay?
Yeah, you're not allowed.
The problem is what's happened is because this has happened.
But this is he's letting the outside noise like affect him. That's what this is telling me, in my opinion, because he completely didn't play Ghost of Yotei because of the online backlash and hate mob, whatever, about it. but the game is just a game. It's fun. It's what you'd expect from the series. Like it doesn't move the needle in either direction. It's not like an amazing game. It's not the worst game. It's fine. It does what it sets out to do. And this dude was acting as if he played it, he would have to like, I don't know, he would have to like do some kind of penance for his chat or something. Like he acted as if he played it, he may become a socialist. Like, it's just a video game. You could just play it and not and just enjoy it for what it is. But this guy gets so wrapped up in like Twitter nonsense that it just sways him. There's a degree of like things that I sometimes have to like tell myself is that not everyone on Twitter represents the entire country or the entire world for that matter. There's like it's just a percentage, but there's other people that also use it who don't use it, whatever, that either don't give a fuck or whatever. And it is what it is. But this guy gets so swept up in like the online space that he can't help but avoid it because he thinks that if he plays it, he's gonna have to talk to his chat about why he's playing it, whatever. The unfortunate reality is that is a reality for him now because he's manifesting it in reality. Like him keep talking about like, well, if I play this, like you guys are they're just gonna want to do it more and like drive him crazy because that's what he's telling them.
Politics and in culture wars, now it's permeated gaming. So you have the gaming journalists who have become ultra leftists all the way to the one side. Any game that's artsy, any game that seems to tug on the heart feels or
tug on the heart feels. But this has also been a thing he bitched about years ago. He bitched about Journey, Inside, and other games or whatever like it that are artsy fartsy back then. Like these artsy games have been around for a while now.
Has some kind of these liberal kind of leaning, plot lines. All of a sudden, it's a 10 out of 10. It's the best game I've ever played. I can't believe it. And this has been happening for the last 6 to 7 years. And it all started in 2020 with The Last of Us 2.
And now we're back to the other thing he cannot move on from. The Last of Us 2. Yes, guys, nobody was ever complaining about politics in video games since The Last of Us 2. Yes. Ignore the outrage people had about Mirror's Edge Catalyst when, like, EA, like, just said, yeah, guys, we have Anita Sarkeesian working on Mirror's Edge Catalyst with us as a consultant. And to this day, I don't know what the fuck she did in that game. Who cares? Because the character looked fine. There you have it. The most thing that people didn't like was that it was like a reboot. It didn't continue from the first game. Oh, whatever. That's it. And maybe some other stuff about the gameplay, but like, whatever. But people complained about that game because of Anita Sarkeesian simply just being a consultant. Just simply being name dropped was enough to rile people up and call it political and all this other shit. Like, these things have existed for years. And this dude is sitting there acting as if this never has happened before.
A year when notably almost all real gamers said, I'm sorry, Ghost of Tsushima is Game of the Year. That game blew it out of the park. It gave us the open world samurai style sneaking around gameplay that we wanted from Assassin's Creed, and Ubisoft refused to give it to us. This game had it all. Amazing graphics, great gameplay, a great narrative. That game's Game of the Year. But the gaming journalist said, oh no, The Last of Us 2, with its themes of acceptance and bigotry and all of...
Themes of acceptance and bigotry. I mean, come on. Come on. I mean, that's like a small facet, I guess, because it deals with like that one character that Abby joins up with, but like that was like a footnote compared to the main theme, which was revenge. But again, he's like trying so hard to make it about like liberal bullshit, but it's like it dealt with revenge. Like, bigotry was like a very small facet of this because naturally when you have a post-apocalyptic setting, you're gonna have like very like cult like groups that have their own tribalistic tendencies, whatever, because it's like the end of civilization. There's no society at that point. So of course you're gonna see groups that are very extreme and insane and bullshit or whatever. Like that's what it showed, but that's like a background in the story of Revenge, because it tries to get you to empathize with both Ellie and Abby as you play the game. But like the issue is obviously the execution, but DSP just doesn't get that because he's a little baby brain. He doesn't understand anything.
All of this, the human, condition of all this in the apocalypse, that's game of the year. Even though
but he doesn't think that, well, there was also a pandemic during that time. Maybe people really related to that world because of what was going on in the real world. Whatever.
Sure. If you analyze the game, it has a lot of flaws, including some of the worst writing and pacing I've ever experienced in a video game.
I wouldn't say it's the worst.
Completely destroying the character that was central to the series within the first couple of...
he overblows the issue Last of Us 2. He's acting as if it was like the worst thing. There are worse games than Last of Us 2. I'm sorry to say it, but there's worse games than Last of Us 2. His hallmark of Ellie is so stupid. It is insane. Like, just purely, you have to refuse to accept the concept of progress in terms of characterization and growth of the character over time. In the first game, like, I've talked about this a lot of times, but it's just bullshit. It's just bullshit. Just plain and simple. I'll just say that. I'm not gonna go into another Last of Us rant. We've had enough
couple of hours of the game. Horrible choice. Shock factor to get people talking.
Shock factor? What's the shock factor? I don't remember the shock factor. Whatever.
And you got the right people talking in games journalism who said it was Game of the Year, and it gets voted Game of the Year. And this has continued every single year since 2020, where you get the games journalists who are focusing on all these...
We are just I love that we're like doubling, quadrupling down on, oh, it's liberal propaganda, whatever the fuck, but we're just conveniently forgetting that about the whole like shilling and bribery or whatever, or compensation that these journalists have been getting from the companies. Call me an idiot, but I don't think that has anything to do with political alignments. I just think straight up, hey, we got this amount of money, let's give it like a high score. I mean, I don't think politics dictate that. I think it's just, I'm gonna say corporate greed. It's like, come on.
All these particular kinds of topics and feelings and reasons why they think games are great, while actual people who enjoy games, who play them for gaming's sake, not for the sake of an agenda or a perspective or...
But again, these award shows, they're just reflecting their picks, what they value. Of course, people value different things. Do you think the fucking Marvel head is tuning into the Oscars to see what wins Best Picture? Fuck no. They probably don't give a fuck about what the Oscars pick. Do you think the average person is tuning into the Golden Globes? No. But everyone has different values in what they experience. Like, I kind of think it's kind of annoying how it just seems a lot of video game award shows have this air of like, take us seriously, this is important, gamers agree with us, or whatever the fuck, when it's just, you're an award show and that you have your own values that may not, like, reflect everybody. Like, whatever, who cares? And he says that on his own, but he takes it so seriously regardless.
Or some kind of, push. They say, we don't agree with you. A huge rift has occurred between the actual games journalists and the gamers. I've been saying in the last decade, I don't even understand why mainstream games journalism continues to exist. There was a reason why it needed to exist a long time ago. Before the dawn...
This is fucking stupid. Oh, they needed to exist because they needed to get games early or whatever the fuck to print them out and all this other shit. But there's so, like, that is still relevant today, technically. Not in the sense of printing out, but since games are coming out so frequently then of course they need to get the games early so they could play another game to put out a review for. Like, that's why they get games early sometimes. The other thing is that they also want to time it so that people can understand if they should pre-order the game sometimes. Whatever, they still serve a purpose, but it's just that you have to like kind of read more into who you trust and find more valuable reviewers that you believe in. You know, it's not as rigid as bad as it was in the past, but these things serve a purpose, and it rings so hollow coming from him when he also listens to game reviewers. Go back to it and see how he explains why he stopped. He did not stop. Excuse me. He didn't want to play. What was that game? Biomutant. It was that weird game that DSP like pretended to be interested in, and then he didn't play it because it got bad reviews or mixed reviews or whatever. He listened to the reviewers, and he acts as if he doesn't.
Dawn of the internet, before the dawn of live streaming everything, you needed games journalists because they were given these games early. They were able to review the game for about a month before it actually was released into the wild for sale. They would publish their review, put it in a game magazine or an online article, so you would know if a game was worth your money before you went and spent it. Today, we don't need that. Today, guess what? Immediate interaction with every single game developer and publisher because they are talking about their games so early. They're putting out digital presentations. They're showing you early gameplay previews. Sometimes they even release demos and alpha versions. You know about a game months and months and months before it ever releases. You know,
but that's also different though because they can show you because of course they can show you the good parts during these events and demos. Like, they're not gonna say, like, come on,
everything about it. You know, most of the games you leak most of the story before the game's even out. So why on earth do we need a games journalist when the day a game comes out, your favorite creator already is playing it and giving you their opinion live for free? You don't need to go to some bloated website.
What if I listen to DSP? Why didn't DSP play mixtapes so I can know if the game is worth it? What about that?
Of ads and garbage to sift through trash to find the review that tells you why mixtape should be your game of the year 10 out of 10.
Through ads.
So why does IGN exist?
Guys.
Why does GameSpot exist? Why do any of these websites exist?
React didn't do so good.
Money.
Money.
Because this is how these games get pushed to the forefront. Money. It's big business, right? Companies like Annapurna and other games publishers and developers.
I see how like lunacy this is. He talks about it being some kind of like political thing, but then talks about money. I kind of think the money is the bigger factor here.
Companies are in cahoots with games journalists to get certain games pushed to the forefront, okay? That's the only reason why games journalism is even pertinent or existing in 2026. Because if it weren't for the money, no one would give a shit. We would all say, why would we ever pay attention?
He keeps ignoring, like, there are a lot of people who play games that are not, like, hooked online, who watch streamers, or anything. They may just simply still go to IGN, GameSpot, whatever. Like, these things exist for a reason. Like, you may not like it, whatever, but that's just how it is. Deal with it.
Pay attention to these companies and just say, get out of the way.
Get out of the way.
We've got people who we trust who every day tell us their opinions on games, and then we can judge for ourselves because we're not stupid. But those websites think you're stupid. They think that you will see the 10 out of 10 review and go buy mixtape based off of it. Okay? So what's happened is this big divide between games journalists and actual gamers.
Whoa.
However,
guys, sit down.
For as bad as that is, and that situation is, there's another thing that has happened in the last couple of years that I've noticed notably that I think I need to call out now because I want to be fair.
Right.
For as many games journalists as there are that are left-leaning and pushing agendas and trying to say this particular kind of game is game of the year, there's equally now becoming an amount of creators and content coverers, whatever you want to call them, on the other side of the aisle that say any game that has any kind of liberal content is woke.
I just love that he is now saying this, and this is a little speculative in my opinion, but I kind of think he's getting this bravery to say this because of the quarter documentary. Because I think, like, I don't know how far he got into the last night's second part, but I feel like that this is also getting a little bit influenced by that, because this has also been a thing for years. Like, this has been even like around the time he started, honestly, because this is like, it started with Gamergate, and then it went on from there. Uh, it's not recent. It's not, oh, this started 2 years ago. It started last year. Maybe it ramped up, maybe, but I think a lot. I think a lot of that kind of it's a little different. I think it's mostly has to do with like how many people are more willing to get into like the political sphere with it. It's just there you have it. You know what I'm saying?
Is slop, is bad, and should absolutely never be entertained by anyone. It's garbage. It shouldn't exist. In my opinion, that's just as bad, because you're basically saying, well, because you're that, you're bad. Well, can you actually give me
Wait, what?
never be entertained by anyone? It's garbage. It shouldn't exist. In my opinion, that's just as bad, because you're basically saying, well, because you're that, you're bad.
Oh my god! Like, this is quite the take. Like, I mean, it's a little bit more than that, I guess. But it's just straight up, like, both sides, I guess you could argue, have done this. Oh, like, you see it with, like, I don't want to say Splitgate 2 or whatever, because, like, not a lot of people like that game either. But I want to say there was, I guess, Killing Floor, maybe, because I think the devs said some conservative shit before. I think Five Nights at Freddy's also did. Whatever. I'll use, since he goes to the low-hanging fruit, I'll go with my low-hanging fruit. Hogwarts Legacy. That is a game series that's entrenched with J.K. Rowling and, like, that bullshit. There are people who simply say the game sucks simply because it supports J.K. Rowling's, like, nonsense sometimes. J.K. Rowling views a validation of her beliefs if just her property does well, whatever, then that money goes to fund other, bullshit, whatever. It's a bigger thing than that. We don't have to get into that. But obviously people are still like Hogwarts Legacy because they just don't care about that. But there are people who will just support it out of spite. There are people who don't agree with J.K. Rowling or whatever, so they don't support it, whatever. There's all these things that kind of go into this and say, how can you play this game if you know that it supports this, when the average person that may play the game may not either care, or they may say, well, it's a bit, this should be solved another way. Like, I just want to, like, experience this, whatever. Like, it's just, as I said with the Ghost of Yote, it's at the end of the day, it's a video game. Not everyone is gonna be on board with, like, the culture war stuff or whatever. But when you have YouTubers that are gonna be, like, banking on, like, clicks and stuff, they're gonna heighten that animosity to get people to watch their videos. And that's kind of where you have to kind of have critical thinking with who you watch sometimes. But this is, like, insane. That the most he says is, like, I gotta hear this guy. I've been rambling so much, I lost the plot.
And should absolutely never be entertained by anyone. It's garbage. It shouldn't exist. In my opinion, that's just as bad, because you're basically saying, well, because you're that, you're bad.
But yeah, okay, I was trying to find an example of, like, people on the left who do the same kind of thing as people on the right, and that's kind of, what's going on. There was nuance in all these conversations. I kind of don't, I mean, I'm trying not to be, like, super biased in this, because I kind of don't really, like, value a lot of people that cry about games being woke or having DEI or whatever. But I am trying to kind of put that aside in this video as much as I can, because there may be, like, either a misunderstanding of what they're seeing or whatever. Like, I can understand, like, a character being contrived. Like, as I said about the Dragon Age Veilguard scene, I think the scene where she's explaining, like, oh, why she's apologizing and this, like, is a little contrived and a little bit ham-fisted, and maybe it could have done better if it was, like, a little more tighter. Like that I can understand. But there are a lot of, like, bad actors who are just using this to push other stuff that I don't agree with, and they're hiding behind, like, oh, this is just for this, and it's like, yeah, but like this is also like serves another purpose story wise. There's always bad actors in these kind of like things, and I think like with YouTube and Twitter, you're gonna see, you'll see more of them than people who are genuine or more open to listening to either sides. There's always gonna be bad faith actors in these kind of situations, and I think that's what I'm like trying to say. And DSP just doesn't understand that aspect of it. Maybe to an on a subconscious level, maybe, but whatever.
Or bad. Well, can you actually give me unique reasons why?
Because he doesn't understand that people use that
Like,
Dragon
here's
Age
the
thing to be.
I can totally understand
whatever.
someone playing Mixtape and liking it. Someone who isn't really a mainstream gamer. They don't want challenge in their games. They're just looking for a cool narrative. And as long as the game is presented as such, and everyone knows, hey, this game's only about 2 to 3 hours long. You don't really play it. It's like watching a movie. All right. And as long as you're okay with that, then you should buy it. Fine. Maybe if you say 10 out of 10, maybe that's an unfair review score. All right. Okay. But the reason that it gets me is because I didn't know about Mixtape because I purposefully avoided it. When I saw the presentation for this game about a year ago, it didn't look like it was for me. It definitely looked like left-leaning kind of slop. And I was like, I don't care about this game. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to cover it. I'm going to ignore it. Instead, I'm going to focus on good games. And it's not like there's any shortage of good games out right now.
Oh my god. It's so funny because he has complained, like even to Asmongold, there's not a lot of games out. All the games are failing and the indie games are picking up. He has said that, and now he's saying there's a lot of good games out.
Just in the last few weeks, I've played some really cool games like Mouse PI for Hire, a game that has a unique cartoony style with a film noir storyline. It plays like a classic FPS from the 1990s, and it has unique elements to it that make it feel like something different, and it truly stands out. Or how about Pragmata, a game that was in development hell at Capcom for a very long time, but actually now that it's out has great graphics, an interesting narrative, a combination of survival gameplay like Dead Space with puzzle aspects. I've never even seen something like that combined on the fly in a game. Now, it's certainly not a lengthy game, but it is a unique one that's going to stand out in my mind. Hell, right now I'm playing Pokemon Fire Red, the re-release of a classic game that just came out again on the Switch 2. I'm getting to experience this game for the very first time because I never played it back in the day. And even that's been an awesome experience for me. So there's games out that I'm playing and I'm very thoroughly enjoying. Why would I be wasting my time complaining about Mixtape's existence?
But again, he's ignoring like I just love he's talking about this. Then he's talking about this, but the reason why people are talking about it is that it's a very like odd game that has no fail states and plays itself like directly. Like it's such a very like I don't know how to describe it. It's like very loud in how it plays itself.
And the answer is simple, folks. For as much as there are leftist-leaning game journalists who want to push one narrative down your throat, there's now a group of right-leaning grifters who also want to push a narrative down your throat. Because the truth is, Mixtape isn't a big deal. There's 2,000 people playing it right now.
Yeah, because it's all engagement bait. Like this is like the problem when you like try to surf YouTube, Twitter, whatever. You'll just see a lot of like bad faith takes. Like again, you have to find people that you trust and you like believe, agree with, whatever. Like it is what it is.
No one cares about this game. In fact, you probably wouldn't even know that Mixtape existed if it weren't for these people creating this giant uproar on the internet right now about it. So why do you need to know about it?
Like I just think he should have just said like, you know, I think this game is just trying to go for a different thing. It's like not like I like some of the discourse I have seen with Mixtape because I do like that people do have a more interesting view on like games like that and all that kind of stuff, like that whole genre of like narrative driven games. I think I do think there's a degree of interesting discourse to have with narrative in games, and I think it's nice to see at least there are people who are open to having like stronger narratives, whatever. I mean, everyone has a different view. I mean, it's video games. Not everyone's gonna like fucking value the same thing. Uh, but you know, understandably, yeah, this is like a genre. I think people acting as if this is gonna like cause a problem because he's been kind of acting this way, like, oh my god, we're gonna have more games like this. I don't think that is ever gonna happen. Like, I don't think we're gonna get mixtape clones as much as we've been getting like FromSoft clones.
You didn't before? The answer is you don't. There used to be games like this that would come out and no one would care, and we would brush them under the rug. But now for every mixtape or Dustborn or these games that come out, we need to know about them now because we somehow need to be in an uproar and an outrage that they even exist, or that games journalists would say that it's 10 out of 10. Why?
But it's just funny he's saying this. I could put my finger on it, but he's saying this like, oh my god, I can't believe this. Back with Ghost of Yotei, he said this in a more roundabout way, I guess, but all he complained about was, why do we always have to complain about video games, man? And it's like, okay, like, again, you're just letting like a lot of noise get in the way of what you want to do. Like, if you want to play Ghost of Yotei, like, just play it. Like, again, I've said this about like Hogwarts Legacy. As much as I understand like why people would boycott it and all this, like, I always hated Harry Potter, so it's very easy for me to boycott the games. That's why I don't brag about it. It's like, yeah, I don't like that universe. Hated Harry Potter. I don't agree with J.K. Rowling, so it's like, whatever. I don't give a fuck. Fuck this, right? Whatever. But I understand why people would play the game, would want to buy it, whatever. Like, I'm not gonna sit there and lose sleep that people are playing the game, because at the end of the day, like, people are just are saying don't support it because that's what they believe in, that's what they value, that's what they, whatever. They're always gonna say that on Twitter about everything, and whatever. People say that about, oh, boycott Disney movies, boycott this movie, this is woke, whatever. But at the end of the day, like, it's your decision. Like, it's not like boycotting can be successful and it can happen, but it's not like easy, and it's not something that people should like lose sleep over. It's just like, how many people are gonna really cancel their, like, that's why, like, you see these emails like, I'm quitting Netflix, I'm canceling my sub, and it's like, yeah, do you think that that's gonna really hurt Netflix? Probably not, because they're probably gonna either up their subscription numbers or more people are just gonna go back to it. Like, it's all fleeting shit from outrage, from stuff that they don't like. It's just how it is.
How many games have IGN put out a horrible review of? I mean, I just mentioned Mouse PI for Hire. They said that game's a 6 out of 10. Yeah, the person who reviewed that game is retarded. They don't even know what's a good video game, in my opinion. But that doesn't mean that I care that they gave it a 6 out of 10. I say, yeah, IGN, yeah, their reviews are pretty retarded. I don't really pay attention to them.
He goes with IGN
they don't know what
sometimes. He literally cites them sometimes.
And I play games and judge them for myself. That's what most people should be doing. If you're dumb and you're ignorant, you probably go to IGN. Those are the 3 first letters of the word ignorant.
Whoa.
So there you go.
Phil,
that's who relies on that
Did you
crap,
come up with that all by yourself?
Or people out there who know better. So why do I care if they gave Mixtape a 10 out of 10? I don't. Why do I care if Mixtape wins Games for Change at the Game Awards?
So this is what's dumb about this rant. He goes on and on about it, and then says basically, who cares? He does this all the time. When there's a hot topic, he always like circles back to, who cares? I don't care. He did that with Toby Turner. He did that with all this shit. Like, come on. Come on.
I don't. In fact, I don't care about the Game Awards because they don't mean anything. You want to know why? Guess who votes on the winners of the Game Awards?
Like, why does he just say this?
Games journalists. So why do I care who wins Game of the Year? I don't. I just play games for myself.
Yeah, you complain about what wins Game of the Year all the time.
I enjoy good games.
Like, he says it, but Balatro won, and he's like, oh my god, guys, I won Game of the Year. It's amazing.
I don't focus on the negative because I understand that's clickbait. Get it? All these people right now who are in a big uproar about Mixtape, do you really think that they care if this thing wins Game of the Year or Games for Change? No, you want to know what they care about? The engagement on their fucking social media post. getting the clickbait views on their YouTube video, claiming that mixtape is a big deal. It's not. Mixtape is a 3-hour fart in the wind produced by a billionaire heiress that means nothing.
It sounds like that, like, DSP wants to be like the voice of reason to calm everyone down. It's like he went to this podcast thinking that everyone is sitting like angry, like, oh my god, fucking mixtape. I gotta hear what DSP has to say. He has to calm us down, dude. We're gonna fucking riot. And then he goes on and says, guys, calm down. The game is stupid. And they're like, oh, thank God. He said it's stupid. Okay. Now I'm grounded back in reality. Like that he keeps acting that way. It's kind of funny.
Right now, there's a whole bunch of sound and fury in the game sphere about it, and within 1 week, no one will give a damn. That's why I don't talk about it. That's why I'm not going to play it.
But you're talking about it now.
I focus on things that are good, not things that I know.
Why? Then why did he do this entire segment? Why didn't he just start the segment with, yeah, there's a lot of like discourse about mixtape because like there's no fail states. The game plays itself. It's very generic and it's like just based on nostalgia and trying to sell that vibe. Yeah, it's kind of stupid, but who cares? Why not just say that instead? He's like, guys, the liberals invaded media. Then Last of Us 2 came out. Then we all became super wokeified. Then people started grifting on the right, and then people started getting angry. What the fuck? The game is stupid. Who cares? Like, why not just say who cares at the beginning? Like, come on.
Are bad.
But you wanna know why he did it? Because he got he made a clip, dude. He made a happy little clip. I mean, his editor made a clip. Excuse me, I misspoke. Industry plan. He had to be part of it, dude. He had to. I almost thought, because now they throw in like For You. I saw the Chill with Phil thing and I got scared. I was like, oh god, did he like change it to Chill with Phil? Like, look at these like clips now, and these are called stream highlights, by the way. I mean, whatever. And it's just, oh my god, and these thumbnails are bad. Like, they're just not pleasant to look at, especially this one. Like, I just don't like the contrast. It's just very like unpleasant. I'll give him some credit. I kind of like that he used that face instead of like the usual like O face or whatever. But if he thinks that's his O face, that'd be kind of scary. Oh my god, dude! He talked about Crimson Desert multiple times. Like, and then he has this like the streams here, 10 hours. Oh man, like look at these thumbnails. They're all bad. They're all bad. They're all bad. Especially like these two. I don't like that. I don't like the Honda zoom in. It's just kind of like come on.
I don't go out of my way to say that they're bad. No shit, Sherlock. I know better than that. I have better things to do with my time. But a lot of people out there who make content don't respect yours and want you to be in an uproar about these little stupid things all the time. You ever wonder why there's news cycles in mainstream news that cover things and all of a sudden they drop them when they're not popular anymore? That's exactly what's happening with games coverage now.
I mean, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on in the news. And of course, like, stories are moving at different paces, whatever. I mean, like, it's a little different.
That we're trying to get the hot topic that will get you polarized. Culture wars. Oh my God. You need to know about this. It's very important. And then 2 days later, something else happens and they forgot all about it like it never existed. Because that's all they care about. Your initial engagement, your initial attention. They're not there to actually make you understand something important. They just want you to click. So you got to be careful. I'm looking at this. I'm like, why are people talking about this? Why are people making streams about this? Why does anyone give a shit?
Oh my God, because they care about
not
the medium.
Mixtape is some kind of huge affront to gamers.
Again, he's ignoring like the main discourse that people had with this at the start. He just thinks that it's just purely culture war stuff when it's also about like actual like narrative games and like how people view them and all this stuff. Like, come on.
Gamers, because it's going to ruin gaming and everything. No one cares about mixtape. 2,000 people bought it so far. So who gives a shit, right? But people will act like it's some big deal, and you don't have to fall into that black hole. You can say,
Maybe they wanna talk
mixtape
about
don't
it.
care, close, and not follow the trends. That's the smart thing to do, because these idiots just want your time and attention, and by that way, they make a lot of money. Why else would they do it? Okay. All right, folks. So that's what I have to say about. Okay. We got some shout outs. Chat of the day. Let's get that up on the leaderboard here.
You know what? I wonder what the comments are of the industry. Does he have people say, feeling a base take? Blue Thunder Gaming has industry plan for okay. Wow, holy shit. Should be more games like this. Okay. This is interesting, but even better question is how the hell did a DSP video actually make it to my? Oh my god, this is slowly becoming a LARP to me. I think this is another aspect of Phil. I watched you from detractor videos, but now I realize you're a cool guy. I love you, Phil. Longtime fan. I loved you when we had the Civil War going. You got me through that, man. I love you. I unsubbed from quite a few channels because of this game. It exposed tons of sellouts. You know what's funny? Like, oh, was it Skill Up? Skill Up like recommended this game, but they recommended another game. That to me was like, okay, yeah, these people are like. Like, these people are shills, dude. This is good stuff, man. This is the long form. This is the long form quality content YouTube needs. Great vid. Yeah, all these. So yeah, a lot of people love it, dude. Oh, guys, DSP replied to a comment. Get ready. It's actually a good game. It's funny. It's a great period piece. And the voice acting is spot on. It's an excellent representation of NorCal teens from the 90s. I'm not offended by a kissing scene, and I'm not about to go deep dive searching for reasons to dislike its creators. I simply played the game and enjoyed it. Lots of cinematic adventure games have minimal gameplay. Why are you arbitrarily outraged by this particular one? It's nothing like the 90s. I'm not. I'm just covering facts. Lol. I actually continued in the podcast. Oh my god, it's not. Oh my god. In the podcast stating that people are most definitely overreacting to get attention for themselves. Why do you hate Walmart? You know some people that their only place they go to. I gotta see where does the clip end? Oh my god. This dude is doing what he just complained what other people did. Let's actually get to the end.
Be successful, okay? So that's really right now what's going on with Mixtape is the game is atrocious. It's not a very good game at all. It's just a narrative-based game with almost nothing to it, but games journalists are giving it a 10 out of 10 rating, while actual gamers are saying it's like a 0 out of 10.
Oh my god. So, in the review, he ends with, I don't care, the game's whatever, it's fine. And then he makes a clip video, well, the editor makes a clip video, showing the negative reviews, and it ends with him saying the game is atrocious. Then the guy who watches the clip says, actually the game is pretty good, and I don't know why you're shitting on it. Then the guy says, I'm not. I'm covering the facts. In the podcast, I said more. So, like, why didn't you include this part? Like, this, because he says in the podcast that, oh, people just want to get clicks and get mad. But this guy is literally contributing to the thing you say he's against. Like, it's so, like, this dude is literally disingenuous. Like, again, like, you can argue about so many people being grifters online and whatever. Like, you can argue whatever. People have argued about a lot of content creators being grifters. But DSP is like the yellow paint grifter. Like you like, if you need a textbook example of what a grifter is or a disingenuous person, DSP is the yellow paint for that. Like you just get it. You understand. He tells you immediately what it's all about by acting this way. Like, it's insane. He acts this way. And then he's like, I actually was more fair in the podcast. These other people, they try to get you outraged.
2360 to be precise. Catch up. I realize you didn't restore the fossil Pokemons. No.
Okay, I don't care about Pokemon.
Broden, thank you for your membership over on YouTube. You've renewed it, and I appreciate your support. Thank you, Broden. And on Kick, we have our first gifted sub of the week.
Okay, I don't know if he talks more about nonsense.
And then tonight on the Late Show, quite confusing that that's the boss. And honestly, it makes me wonder. I'm a little confused.
Okay, he's always
I'm sorry
confused.
the playthrough has dragged on.
Okay, I give up. That is this video. This is the game. This is the gamer segment video. I will do another video reacting to DSP reacting to the June the King documentary, part 2, because I saw some parts of it, and yet again is more DSP like softening the drama with the Quarterman. He's like, oh, well, actually, I think he's just a little drunk. And then he also reacted to the poop story, and he did the way I thought he would, where he would try to like downplay it, but he's like holding in a laugh. I feel like he would have laughed otherwise. That is it for this video. Thank you for watching. He ain't live, so I can't like do a vibe check on him, but I'll see you in the next one. Bye.